This is just a quick update on the Build Better Places campaign I've been running in Edinburgh South for the last 18 months. Many of you will know that thousands of houses have been built with little infrastructure for new and existing residents, and particularly the GP crisis is so acute in Edinburgh South, where many of the practices are no longer taking on new patients, and patients are being left without either a service or being registered with a GP. We've been working with NHS Lothian over the last 18 months to identify new sites, one being at the new Liberton High School property on Gilmerton Road, and also at the Gilmerton Gateway site where the Raffertys are redeveloping their yard. We found out this morning that the Scottish Government will not fund either of these, so we're now still 10,000 plus GP places short. This is a real dereliction of duty for the Scottish Government. The Health Secretary himself has replied to many of my letters, merely denying there is a problem, despite the fact that his own government have approved on appeal many of these housing sites. So we have a real problem now with GP crisis in Edinburgh South. We've got the Health Secretary who denies there's a problem now going for First Minister. We've got the local SNP MSP who's never said a peep about this particular GP crisis affecting many thousands of residents in South Edinburgh, now going for the top job as First Minister. And really, I would like them to concentrate on the day job and resolve this huge problem. I'll keep updating people, but please keep signing my Building Better Places petition to the Scottish Government to make sure that we can have these infrastructure problems resolved for new and existing residents. This is just a quick update on what's been happening at Westminster this week. Of course, the big news is the signing of the Windsor Agreement, which determines the UK's relationship now with the EU with regards to Northern Ireland. Thankfully, it finally ditches the Tories' damaging Northern Ireland Protocol Bill, which they were taking through at Parliament, which didn't only break international law, but removed some of the trade barriers between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Also, there's hints that it might allow succession to the Horizon Science Scheme, but we'll come back to that at a future date. Labour will be supporting the framework so that we can improve our trading relationship with the EU and get power sharing back on its feet in Northern Ireland. Of course, there's been no Stormont government now for the best part of 18 months, and it looks like we might need fresh elections there. Of course, the devil's always in the detail with these things. The Democratic Unionist Party are looking at the detail in terms of what this actually means on the ground, and we are hearing over the last 48 hours since the Prime Minister made his statement in the House of Commons and indeed the press conference that a lot of his rhetoric in terms of what this is actually trying to deliver is not written into legal text. So there's a lot still to come on this, but it is a massive step forward. And of course the final thing being that the Conservatives told us back in 2019, including the current Prime Minister, that they had an oven-ready deal with no borders in the Irish Sea, and it would be the easiest frictionless trade deal in history. We've known with regards to Northern Ireland that has not been the case then, it was never going to be the case, and hopefully now that we've got this negotiated settlement with trade-offs, we can get this back on the table and get trade running again properly via Great Britain and Northern Ireland and via Northern Ireland and the EU. More updates to come, but that's just the big news from this week.